Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mr. Joshua with another action figure reveal. And today, I'd like to show off to you guys my newest addition to my Power Rangers Lightning collection. This is the brand new red Turbo Ranger that just came in the mail yesterday. I had this dude on pre-order since April of this year, and he was supposed to be released in October, but he had an early release date on Amazon, which I was pretty excited about. But yeah, let's get down to this review. So with this figure, uh, as you can see, he is pinless, which is, it's pretty cool. Me personally, I'm not really a big fan of the pinless figures, mainly with the Lightning collection, because with these newer molds, it kind of looks like the legs are a little bit shorter than what they should be. He looks more top heavy, if anything. But other than that, so far he's been an all right looking figure so far. Uh, Another thing I don't really like about these figures is the fact that the little ball joint in here, it's basically two ball joints. And they got this weird like swivel thing. The With the new ball joint system, the legs can't really spread that far apart much anymore. I kind of wish they left the old ball joints in there. It was just basically just one piece instead of it being two pieces, and kind of comes up and down like this too. I don't like that. No, just it kind of makes everything a little loose in a bad way. Like wobbling back and forth, and I don't. I just don't really like it. Other than that, so far everything's looking pretty good. Uh, it looks like they might have used a cheaper plastic on this figure and maybe some mismatch parts. As you can see right in here, the kneecap, you can see this kneecap looks like cheap plastic versus this guy right here. This one looks like it's the same plastic made for the leg, versus that one. You can see the shininess. This one's a little bit more red. Yeah, you can see it right there. I know it's kind of weird. It does have the double joints. They're a little stiff. Not as bad as the blue Centurion, sorry. But yeah. It's pretty loose. Fuck me. Let's try this leg. This one's actually a whole lot more sturdier. Yeah, I like that one more. The feet, they're on a swivel, so that's pretty cool. The boots actually move around. I like that. Hands, those move around. These are the kind of joints I like on the Lightning figures, where they have the joint right here versus, this little hand right here, where the joint is right here and it rocks back and forth. I call that the jerk off hand for obvious reasons. Ab crunch, pretty nice. Paint detail. The paint detail in this figure is actually pretty good. Not bad for a $20 figure. I'm thinking these might actually be decals now that I'm looking at them. And the reason why I think they're decals now is because if you look really close right here, you can see where the two decals meet. Well, the two ends of the decals, and it looks like they touched it up with paint. And right here, you can see an overlap as well. But it's a good looking figure. Let's take the head off. So the head is on that new ball joint system. This one's a little jammed up. Can I even twist that shit? Yes, I can. It's supposed to be like that. Pretty tight. The ball joint on here doesn't really want to move too well. Then we get the helmet. The paint job on the helmet is actually pretty good. Now, if you want to be like one of those stuck-up assholes who need your paint to be pristine, I guess you can say that right in here you can see a little bit of paint that's off of the silver, but I don't give a shit. I like the way the figure looks. It's a nice looking figure. Yeah, it stands up pretty well. If he had the original ball joint for the legs, he would be able to stand up with these. But he stands up pretty well. So with the accessories, he's got this sword, which is pretty cool. He's got this big old sword. And it's been a long time since I watched the Power Rangers Turbo. I'm not really sure what these weapons are called. It wasn't really my favorite series. I think it was when Power Rangers started going a little goofy. Another punch fist right there in his dick. Whoosh, fuck you. It's got a lightning piece, which is pretty cool. This is basically, it's been reused since the Red Ranger, the original Red Ranger, when it came out a couple years ago. He's got this really cool, weird looking Hot Wheel that sits on top of a gun. So that's fun. And while we're on the subject, I am missing a lightning piece effect. I think like the shooting effect is supposed to go on there, but unfortunately they never gave it to me. So it's like, fuck you, Amazon. This is actually the first time that I bought a figure in the past 4 years from the Power Rangers Lightning collection that hasn't come with all the accessories, so that is pretty shitty. And you know, with lightning effect, this one I can slide up in there like that. It's all right. And then for the civilian head, we've got Smiling TJ. Yeah. I really hate the smiling civilian heads. And especially when you put them into, like, you know, battle poses. Yeah, he's smiling because he just got punched in the dick. I want to see what he looks like with the head on. Actually fit on there pretty easily too. Yeah, the thing about TJ is that I think he was probably the shittiest Red Ranger. I don't mean that in a racist way. He was just shitty. He's so shitty, in fact, that he got demoted to the Blue Space Ranger, which, in my own personal opinion, I think he was better off as a Blue Ranger. He was just cooler that way. But yeah, his face is very upsetting. This is kind of like a fuck you to Jason David Frank, because, you know, in my opinion, he was the Red Turbo Ranger. So you know what? Fuck this shit. Fuck you, TJ. Piece of shit. Let's turn this guy into Jason David Frank, or as we should say, Tommy Oliver. There we go. Whole lot better fitting. And for this, I'm actually using a Lord Draken civilian head. And the reason I'm using Lord Draken is because right now everybody wants an arm and a leg for the Tommy Oliver civilian heads. Like, originally I was going to use the Red Zeo, but everybody right now wants like $30 for that head. And it's like, no, you guys go fuck yourselves. So luckily for me, I found him on eBay for about $10. It was pretty pricey for a head sculpt, but it was either that or use the White Ranger civilian head, and it looked like shit on this figure. But yeah, it's a nice looking figure. Again, in my own personal opinion, it looks a whole lot better a whole lot better with a Tommy Oliver head on it. You know, it just has that, I don't know, that nice vibe to it. And on top of that, too, you can always, you know, say that this is the older version of a Tommy Oliver, which, you know, technically it is. That's what Draken is. Evil, older version of Tommy. And I think it looks pretty cool. It actually looks a whole lot cooler with the Tommy Oliver old Draken head on, anyways. I like it. It looks nice. If I had an arm's reach, my dragon shield, I would just, you know, toss that on there just for shits and giggles, see what he looks like. The things I'm going to do with this figure after this video, it's going to be very mild, you know, stuff I'm going to do. I'm debating whether or not I should use a very light dirty wash on it. I am definitely, though, I am going to come back in here and paint these black because that's, you know, pretty bothersome for me. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this figure a 7. The reason I'm going to give it a 7 is because, well, because of my honest opinion, I think the torso, it's a little bit big, in my opinion, for this Red Ranger. I think they should have shrinking down just a little bit because he just, I don't know, the torso, it's too wide, in my opinion. Again, the plastic on this figure, it feels a little bit cheaper than what we had previously. They gave me mismatched kneecaps. And the legs are just, you know, really fucking loose. Sorry, I was daydreaming a second ago. Happens a lot. It gets me in trouble. But yeah, I'm gonna give it about a 7 out of 10. The accessories are pretty cool. I like those. And also my last complaint, they really should have given us a Tommy Oliver head instead of TJ. I mean, my honest opinion, I don't know why they didn't give us another Tommy Oliver. Maybe they were thinking it was too much. Maybe Hasbro was being a little woke on it. Maybe they were like, well, TJ was a black man. He was a Red Ranger. He needs the Red Ranger turbo figure. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. My own honest opinion, though, just to be fair on it, Hasbro could have done it, but I think what they should have done was they should have given us 2 head sculpts. They should have given us the TJ and the Tommy Oliver, you know, so that way it would have been, you know, it'd be a little different, but I think they would have made a lot more money off this figure. And they also should have made it so, you know, TJ wasn't fucking smiling. Again, that's bothersome. I don't like smiling TJ. In a weird way, he does kind of look like a toddler, you know? He looks like a little 4-year-old. He just stole your cookies and he's laughing about it because he's black and he's able to get away with it. But, yeah. Figure, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. They could have done a little bit better on this figure, in my opinion. Is it a good figure? Yes. Is it worth putting into your collection? Definitely. But again, those are just some little minor things they could do with this figure. It's definitely a nice looking figure. I'm going to be keeping it in my collection. It's great. And I'm glad that I bought an extra Lord Draken head just for this figure because, you know, the way he looks right here, he looks pretty cool. But that's all that I have for this video. If you guys like my videos, please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for sharing.